some hot chilies. Whoa. Delish. I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing crack olive pasta in 15 minutes. I call it crack because castelvetranos. You will want to remember these olives. They're meaty, not too salty. If you love things like umami and flavor, these are it, baby. Let's look at our ingredients first. First and foremost, you will want these. If you can't get a hold of these, then you're gonna opt for any other olives you can find, whether they're in a can, whether they're fresh, whether they're pitted or not. You're going to need a little bit of garlic, just a few cloves. If you're not a garlic person, you can totally skip this because you're still gonna have the fat from the olives and the saltiness. You're gonna have the main part of your meal, which is your starch, and then you're going to season it with salt and pepper. And I promise you it's going to be delicious. You're going to need a little bit of salt, any kind of salt, sea salt, kosher salt, and we're going to need some fresh herbs. Here we have curly parsley. You can do curly, you can do flat leaf. I also have some fresh dill. It smells amazing. Yum. And I like to store it in a little bit of tap water. I like to cover it so it just stays clean and leave it in the fridge that way. We also have this baby arugula that I'm going to top it off with. And this is my favorite way to eat greens. Now, of course, to this, you can also add in lots of other things like onions or mushrooms or zucchini or corn or, I don't know, like name your favorite vegetable. Ooh, like sliced asparagus would be delicious. You could add green beans. You could even add Brussels sprouts. I mean, there are so many options, but I like to keep it basic for the most part. I want to taste all the flavors that I want to highlight, and so be it. Then we need the center of our meal, which is starch. Some sort of starch that's gonna help us stay full. Obviously we want pasta, so I have these fun tiny little shells. I love long noodles with this dish, and I'm not gonna do that today because today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I've never done this before, but I already know it's going to be delicious because the flavor profile of this dish is so tasty. So today we're going to use quinoa, and this is super easy to make. A lot of people are not fans of quinoa because of the flavor. I don't love quinoa, but if it's paired with something delicious, then it's amazing. I'm also going to consider adding some lentils to this because why not? I'm actually going to just cook all of them and mix all of this together just to make this beautiful trifecta of adding more plants in, getting enough starch in, and all these fresh herbs. So then the last thing is adding something hot. So we've got dried chili flakes. Now, if you add this to a little bit of oil, it's going to flavor that oil and it's going to make that oil very, very spicy. And then if you mix that oil with the rest of the food, you're gonna spice up everything. So if you like it hot, add this to your oil and it will be a spicy dish. What I like to do though, apart from this, is use real spicy peppers. The best peppers. Yes, Calabrese, or Calabrian. How do you say that? These are the best peppers. Now, I could only find the green ones, which are delicious, but what I really like are the red ones. These are chopped and they're extra hot. They are very, very spicy. Step number one is get all of your ingredients out onto the counter. Don't be running back and forth from your cupboards to your fridge, getting one ingredient at a time. Just get it all onto the counter. That makes cooking a lot easier, a lot more organized, and a lot more efficient. Before I start prepping any of these ingredients, I'm going to get the pasta and whatever our starch is cooking. So good. There we go. I like to salt my water, and that way it's going to also season the pasta as it's cooking. The Italians say, make it salty, make it salty. Then we're gonna do our quinoa, and just read the instructions on the back to make your quinoa. And so for 1 cup of dried quinoa, it calls for 2 cups of water. And so here's 2 cups of water. So let's get both of these pots onto the stovetop and boiling. So if you haven't heard, starch is the key to staying full when you're not eating meat or animal products. So here I've got about a cup of mixed starch. I'm also going to have some pasta, so I'm just gonna mix it all together and it will be a party. Ta-da! We're going to start prepping our fresh food. While our water is boiling and getting ready to cook our starch, we are going to wash everything that needs to be washed. So wash everything that doesn't already come in a natural package. Like, obviously I'm not gonna wash my garlic, but I am gonna wash my arugula. I'm gonna wash all these herbs. And how many herbs? I just take a guess, you know? So this is the only parsley that I have. I'm going to use all of it. And this is the best cleaner of life. Cleans with the power of ozone. And I'm gonna take the bunch of ends and just do that. But we are going to use the stems of the parsley because there's nutrition in there and it's also delicious. With the dill, I'll use, I don't know, maybe half of it. Should we just use all of it? Let's just use all of it. We're not going to use the stems of the dill. Tried it, doesn't work so well. Just gonna do a couple of handfuls of baby arugula. And then the rest of this box I'm going to reserve for either sprinkle in with my salads or I'm going to use it in a pesto. Okay, so this is just gonna sit in the sink and drain. And now all of the hard work is done. Now comes the fun part of actually prepping our food. But in the meantime, let's put things away. So all these packages we no longer need, put them away. Careful you don't splatter hot water all over yourself. That's good enough. This is so easy to make. It's so fun to make only because I know how delicious it's going to be. And in the time that the pasta cooks, we're gonna prep the rest of our ingredients. It's a little bit of chopping. And then we're gonna throw it all into a pan and then we're gonna enjoy. All right, so now we're gonna prep our food. So first things first, I'm gonna put everything on here. And with these, because they're already pitted, all I have to do is separate them a little bit. So just tear them up a little bit. I like big chunks of olives in my pasta and the salad that I'm going to make. That's probably enough. But I like a lot. All right, that looks good. And then we're going to do some garlic. Dill, what we're essentially going to do is just kind of pull the herb part gently off and then discard this. Now we will have some small stems there. That's okay. We just don't want to eat this thick stuff. So take a bunch of my dill, just kind of shave it off. Kind of pull. There you go. Let's roll it up. There you go. Pop that on here. Oh man, that smells good. Ooh, our pasta is ready. Always test a couple pieces to make sure it's cooked. Ooh, perfect. So our lentils and quinoa. Our prep is done. That's it. Can you believe how easy that was? That's it. So let's clean this up. So we have prepped our veg. Let's set that aside. We have washed our arugula. Let's set that aside. We're gonna turn some heat on. Heat a pan. Meanwhile, our quinoa looks good and all the water has evaporated, which is nice. We've got our pasta. So I'm gonna add in just a tad bit of oil in here. Oh boy. Good, good, good. Then we're gonna just pop our garlic on, or you can just be like me and just pop it all on at once. We're gonna stir fry for about 2 minutes. It is going to start smelling amazing. Season with a little bit of salt. It's pretty much ready to go. Now we're going to add in our cooked pasta. Yum. Now because I've already seasoned the pasta water, the pasta is salty enough. You don't want to add too much salt. If you don't season your water, then add a sprinkle of salt on the surface of your pasta. Kill the heat. Now we're going to add in all this arugula. And the heat is going to just melt that in to just something divine. Capture all those herbs. Oh yeah. Now you just fold it in. And as you mix the arugula with the pasta, since the arugula is so delicate, it's going to start kind of wilting just perfectly. Not too much, not too little. This is when you can top it with some chili stuff. Oh, yum. I'm gonna have some right now. That is my plate. Thank you very much. And since we're going to be very healthy, we're going to pop all this in here too. I'm going to make a very big salad. Lots of starch, lots of flavor. I did not season the quinoa, so I will add in a little bit of salt. And obviously you can add in way more greens, which I would recommend, so it's not all wilted and you have some fresh bits in there, but otherwise, I mean, look at this. Nice, nice, nice.